going on, you guys? This is Mike or Geekermon. Welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today, I want to go over the Season 17 changes that were in this novel they are calling TWAB. TWAB? TWAB. Vote down below. Argue in the comments section. So there are a ton of changes coming next season for PvP. I, for one, am very grateful. Whether I agree or disagree with the changes, I think it's awesome that Bungie is mixing things up, because if you've played Crucible recently, you know, more than anything, we need something to mix it up. So today, I am just gonna go through all of the changes, break it down, give my thoughts. We'll have some gameplay rolling in the background that I got yesterday. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget, leave a like if you do. Subscribe if you're new and want to see more videos like this. And without further ado, let's jump right into this week at Bungie. All right, so the first thing that is getting hit is airborne gameplay. Now, I will say one of the higher skill gaps in Destiny 2 is always the airborne play. Bungie is taking the approach that you will now have to build for the airborne play. It's not gonna be the kind of thing where you can just throw an Icarus grip on, throw your stompies on, you're good to go in the air. They want you to have to give up something, whether it's mobility, whether it's accuracy, aim assist, whatever it might be. So let's talk through their changes to see how they're gonna try to level the playing field. I personally don't know if this is the right answer, but I will say it's nice that you'll be able to build for other things besides the air. When I'm on Hunter, I'm always rocking stompies. I'm always wanting to rock an Icarus mod. Those are my two go-tos. So the one pro, before you go off in the comment section, the one pro is that you might see different builds come out to play. This could force it. Whether that's good or not, we'll leave that up to you. Leave me a comment down below. Destiny has extremely fluid and expressive airborne movement, but that movement must be balanced against grounded players lest it become oppressive. We want players who enjoy that play style to be able to build into it, but they'll have to make some tough choices. Exactly what I said. Second big takeaway, allow players to mitigate for flinch. Excessive flinch is a frequent complaint from players. I personally feel this when I use an auto rifle or a hand cannon. When you're starting to take damage in your primaries, you get flinched ridiculously. I'll say snipers is the one other area where I think you feel it. Shotguns and fusions, not so much. So it looks like what they're doing is lowering the baseline flinch on primary weapons, which I am all for. Reducing the number of one-hit kills in PvP. Sandbox overall wants to reduce the number of one-hit kills in PvP, shifting combat towards a primary gunplay. Now, this in an idea is perfect, but you have to be careful, because with this, the game's fun factor can slowly creep away, like we saw in vanilla Destiny 2, which a lot of people would agree is one of the least fun Destiny metas of all time, was Destiny 2 vanilla, and it was because there were very few one-hit kill weapons. It just made team shotting and peak shotting all that more prevalent. We'll see what happens here. I think that special weapons have their place. I like ones like sniper rifles, where I feel like if I get the kill, I landed that headshot, I deserve the kill. So we will see what they decide to do here. One thing to note, one key primary outlier, and then addressing common feedback on weapons across all game modes. So I feel like they need to take a look at some Skyburners, Oaths, and Cryothesias of the current meta and see what they can do. I do think they mentioned Skyburners here. We'll get to it in just a little bit. Glaives. Now, I told you guys, Glaives, you asked me before Witch Queen came out, do I think Glaives are going to be overpowered? I said no. I think they're going to be underpowered. Then I think Bungie's going to buff them. Then I think they're going to be overpowered. So I don't know if this change is going to make them overpowered, but I do think it's nice that they're getting a buff. So a couple of things. Glaive melee should activate perks that trigger off base melee damage, like ammo relief, weapon damage from Swashbuckler, things like that. Should not get Assassin's Cowl combination blow, which I think is good. It will get things like Winter's Guile and Worm God Caress. You could kind of build for a Glaive build, but you're not going to get Rampage or Kill Clip, which personally, I don't think Glaives need Kill Clip. It'd be a one-hit kill with the Glaive. And then it looks like they're going to buff the projectiles a little bit, which is nice. Now, I'm not going to go through all these right here, but because they're buffing Glaives, here's some of the other changes that they're making. You'll see them right here on the screen. All right, some global changes. Flinch. Aim deflection on receiving damage, typically called flinch, is a common pain point, particularly on primary ammo weapons. We've rebuilt the stability perk on your weapons to actually grant flinch resistance in addition to its other effects. That is going to be extremely interesting, because I feel like flinch is one of the ways that they bring down the skill gap. They put a skill ceiling on. That's what they do with in-air accuracy by nerfing it. That's what they're doing the opposite of with flinch. So it's interesting to see they're going one way with one and they're kind of going back the other way with flinch. This could be good, because if you're a good shot, you'll be rewarded for landing your shots. Before you're like, that means snipers are going to be OP, take into account special weapons in general are getting an ammo nerf across the board. So we're probably not going to see too much of a difference here. It's also worth mentioning that they talk about particularly on primary weapons being the focus here for the flinch. All right, so higher zoom weapons are more affected by flinch. Here's the breakdown with 100 stability. Now, I believe the higher the number here, the more flinch resistance you're going to get. 20% on pulse, scout, sidearm, machine guns. 15% on hand cannons and trace rifles, and then the lowest flinch resistance. Fusions, shotguns, snipers, grenade launchers, linear fusion rifle, and rocket launcher. So you can tell snipers are in the lowest category of flinch resistance. That means they're going to be very similar to how they play today. All right, airborne gunplay. We've added a new weapon stat called Airborne Effectiveness. This means that you can actually build your weapons to be more effective in the air. I do think this also gives opportunity for Bungie to add in some perks that are really focused on an Icarus-style gameplay. Okay, so this is kind of a pro-con on airborne, because what they're doing here is that they're taking away a lot of the aim assist, but they're also decreasing the randomness of the projectiles. So if you land the shot, you land the shot. I personally think that's good. That could be a good thing and prevent a lot of people from just spraying in the air and getting kills. So if you don't build for air at all, smaller accuracy penalty, and then you'll have significantly lower aim assist. With minimal investment, same in-air accuracy as Icarus has today, but with noticeably lower aim assist. With a substantial investment, characters have better accuracy than retail weapons with Icarus, but fewer misses due to randomness, but will still have reduced aim assist. So if you build for 100, you will have the same aim assist, I guess, as we have today. So they're really toning down the aim assist here. You got to be fully invested into airborne if you want that aim assist while your guys flying around. This stat has been hand-tuned on all exotics, so everything that's shipped is going to be specifically given an airborne aim value. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. This will be a hidden stat at Season 17 launch, similar to aim assist and recoil direction. You'll be able to check it on Destiny Tracker or any of the API trackers. And in 18, it looks like they're going to show previously hidden stats. So that's going to be super cool. We'll be able to build even more. All right, so a couple more quick things on the air before we move on. Aim assist, cone, penalty, angles. It looks like this stat influences several aspects of airborne gunplay. There's the aim assist cone penalty. Headshot aim assistance is going to be at 0 and will essentially only go up to 1 if you're at 100 stat. So it seems like you're not going to get much aim assist when you're in the air. You're really just going to have to rely on your accuracy. You must be pinpoint precise. So the one thing that I'm worried about here is I'm interested to see how this plays out between mouse and keyboard and controller. Nerfing aim assist to me feels like a nerf to a lot of the controller players. That's slightly concerning. Well, I guess we'll see how it shakes up. I think there is some aim assist on mouse and keyboard as well, but likely less so. What this means, you'll get fewer misses due to randomness from the accuracy cone, but reliance on aiming is much higher if you have low stats. Interesting. Now, a couple of super interesting examples of exotic weapon outliers. Sweet Business, Skyburner's Oath, Sunshot, Huckleberry, Rat King, Thunderlord, and Traveler's Chosen all have fairly high in-air aim assist. So that's going to be super interesting to see how these weapons play out. You compare that to a shotgun here, which has an aim assist box of 3. I think we're going to see a lot more Huckleberries and a lot less shotguns, which I'm here for it. Okay, so quickly going through the exotic armor and how that plays. There's 3 different subclass changes. The Heat Rises ability is going to give you plus 70 in-air aim assist while Heat Rises is active. Tempered Metal is plus 20 after a solar kill, and the Whisper of Hedron Stasis Fragment is plus 20 after freezing a target. It's going to be interesting to see if people try to build around those 3. Exotic armor that revolves around being airborne or works on specific weapons grants a bonus or penalty in the negative 50 to plus 40 range. So get ready for the Stompy's nerf right here. Bow Tracer is plus 20 to all weapons. I could see that being a real subtle meta because no one uses Foe Tracer today. Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves is plus 50 to sidearms. So you can essentially build Mechaneers for an in-air sidearm build. Oathkeeper, plus 40 to all bows. Sealed Ahamkara Grasp is plus 50 to all 5 seconds after a melee hit. That's super interesting because you could play a melee jump and then you got that plus 50 aim assist. Lucky Pants is plus 20 to hand cannons after readying a hand cannon. Stompies have been nerfed into the ground, minus 50 to all, which is extremely tough, but I think we'll still see them because they are the go-to movement exotic. No backup plans, plus 30 to shotguns. You could see that a lot on Titans. Actium War Rig gets plus 30 to auto rifles and machine guns, and the Sweet Business has a very high in-air aim assist cone. That is going to be kind of a cool build. Hollow Fire Heart is plus 20 to all. Lion Rampant's plus 50 when you're hip firing only. Peacekeepers plus 40 to SMGs. Peregrine Greaves is plus 20 to all, which is super interesting. You could run a Hollow Fire or Peregrine to get plus 20 if you're on a Titan. I Have Another World for Warlocks is plus 15 to all. Astrocyte Verse is plus 30 to all, which is kind of weird because you're blinking. So I guess it's only if you blink and then you're in the air, maybe a shotgun, or you're trying to hit a snipe real quick. You don't do a lot of shooting in the air. with that. I think they know that, which is why they're buffing it. Ophidian Aspect plus 10 to all, which is interesting because that's one of the most used exotics. So it's interesting to see it get a buff, essentially. You might see a lot more, unless I read something later on where it gets nerfed. Ophidian could be the go-to Warlock exotic. Necrotic Grips give you plus 30 to Weapons of Sorrow. Wings of Sacred Dawn, that's going to be the Warlock go-to for in-air builds. Plus 50 to all. Amazing. Boots of the Assembler is plus 30 to Lumina. And then there's a redacted exotic that's going to be plus 30 to fusion rifles. So that's going to be interesting. I feel like a lot of people don't do fusion rifles in the air, though. It's a slide kind of gameplay. So, all right, so taking a look at the Hunter exotic breakdown, this big blue box right here is the Stompies. Yes, they are the meta. Everyone uses them. All right, so looking at Titan, it looks like we got Dune Marchers, Laurely, Mask of the Quiet One. What's this red one right here? You know, it would be nice if they showed us everything from this screenshot. They didn't pull the rest of the exotics down there. I would be interested to know where One-Eyed Mask is. It doesn't show up because it's on the bottom right, but I feel like maybe it's this blue one down here. I'm not sure. All right, and then taking a look at the Warlocks. See, this is what I'm talking about. Exotic, this is probably a Transversive Steps down here, and this is Ophidian Aspect. Those are the two go-to exotics for Warlocks. Extremely interesting, because I feel like I'm surprised it got a plus 10 to the in-air accuracy. Also, one-hit kills and special ammo. They are nerfing special ammo. A lot of these things, like Ariana's Vow and Le Monarch, their goal is to completely eliminate these one-hit kills. Not completely, but minimize them and really promote some primary gameplay. Could be good, could be bad. We will see. Reduce the damage bonus for Empowering Rift, High Energy Fire, and Inertia Override from 20% to 15%. No effect in PvE. That's nice. Special ammo to be less plentiful, making it more difficult to change special weapon kills. Even though one of the most fun things in Destiny 2 Quick Play is chaining special weapon kills. We're gonna see how it plays out. Disabled ammo scavenger mods in PvP. So no matter how much ammo a player was carrying, if you pick up a special brick, you're only gonna get one ammo for a shotgun or sniper kill. Retune several special weapon archetypes and exotic weapons with the general goal of reducing the effectiveness and uptime of special weapons. Here is the chart of what people use in PvP. Now, I will say I'm a sniper main, so I'm this blue down here at the bottom, but a lot of people are shotgun and fusion rifle mains. Those are the go-tos. So my one problem with the special ammo changes is that as a sniper main, I feel like it's a little bit more difficult to get and maintain ammo. You're gonna have to rely on your primary weapon, which is totally fine, but if you're a shotgunner and you're running and gunning, get the kill, get the ammo. Get the kill, get the ammo. You snipe somebody across the map, now you're ripped, and you gotta wait a long time before you get ammo again. So it's gonna be interesting to see if snipers are kind of put at a disadvantage because of that, or if people don't really notice. You know, it may stay, the use rate may change, or it may stay exactly the same. All special weapons have had their in-air accuracy significantly reduced. Yikes. While we're okay with encouraging players to build into using their primary weapons to be more effective, special weapons have a slightly larger airborne accuracy penalty than primary weapons, and they have a similar airborne aim assist cone. Sniper rifles are fairly slow to ready, stow, and aim down sights, which has made Snapshot feel mandatory. Reduce stow, ready, and ADS time by 10%. All snipers are now snappier. Sniper rifles have less access to ammo than shotguns and fusions, where kills drop ammo right in front of you. So we think ammo scarcity will prevent sniper rifles from spiking. I know. I'm not thrilled about that, but I agree. All right, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but shotguns and fusion rifles are both receiving a slight nerf. I don't think this is going to play out too much. I think the ammo is actually going to be a bigger factor than a couple of these. Their max range has been brought down just a little bit, and they're also trying to prevent the 20+ meter fusion rifle maps. Besides Divinity, trace rifles aren't as popular in hard content as we want them to be, and they're also more affected by disabling scavenger mods than other weapons. With this change, they're a better use of special ammo against non-red bar targets. Increased trace rifle damage to non-red bar combatants PvE by 20%. Increased ammo picked up per special ammo brick from 18 to 30. So that could be a nice change. I don't think 30 for something like a Cold Heart is going to be that great of a pickup. It's essentially just one kill. We'll see. I feel like trace rifles need to have their damage exactly how it was prior to this buff, and then moved into primary ammo. There's no reason for a trace rifle to be special ammo. All right, auto rifles and pulse rifles are both getting a buff. Auto rifles are getting an increased damage fall off, which is nice, of almost a meter. I feel like I'm a big auto rifle fan. I feel like that could be super fun. You land your shots. I don't know about the in-air shots, but you land your shots, you're going to be able to compete at a medium to longer range. Pulse rifles are also getting a buff, which is interesting because I feel like some pulse rifles currently are quite meta. The Peace of Mind is one that comes to mind as a really, really strong pulse rifle. So I think we're going to see a lot of those at those mid-range fights. You're going to see a ton of pulse rifles. Both of them are getting an increased damage fall off. And then increased lightweight, the 450 pulse rifles, damage per bullet from 15 to 16. I don't think that's going to make too big of a difference, but we'll see. This change won't change the optimal time in PvP. All right, SMGs with low zoom don't feel competitive in PvP. We've reduced the variance in zoom and brought the base zoom up from 13 to 14 and extended the damage fall-off distance. So they've increased it by 1.5 meters. Adjusted zoom values on the most viable legendary SMGs. Shiura's Wrath went from 16 to 17, Multi-Mach 17 to 15, Stochastic Variable from 13 up to 14, Ikelos from 13 up to 14, 7th Seraph up, Every Waking Moment up, and Huckleberry up to 15. Secret meta gonna be Huckleberry. I'm calling it right now. Remember this moment. We like the adaptive SMGs and are starting to make them again, but in their current, they kill a little too fast with body shots. So we've reduced the damage body shots does, decrease from 12 to 11.2. Increased precision multiplier from 1.3 to 1.4. Precision frame hand cannons have always been good. Airborne effectively having built-in Icarus grip, and with the changes, we wanted to preserve that feel, translating their advantage to the new system. So you might start to see 180s make a return because of the in-air accuracy nerfs. Intrinsic switched from a 75% airborne accuracy penalty to a plus 25. That means if you had a Frontier's Cry with an Icarus grip, it would be at 19 plus 25 plus 15, 59 before factoring in armor. Incredible. Good to see the precision frame hand cannons making a return. All right, so it looks like machine guns, swords, and rocket launchers are getting a couple changes, but it's almost entirely PvE. I do think adaptive and aggressive are getting plus 10 damage. That's great. I don't think we'll notice that too much in PvP. All right, let's hit the exotic weapons. Fighting Lion needed a bit more of a buff, so we improved its reload speed when Thin the Herd is active. Now we're increasing the blast radius and the damage. I think this is going to be great. I enjoy using Fighting Lion. It's an extremely fun weapon. It's got unlimited ammo, and it's getting a 5% damage buff. Eyes of Tomorrow and Leviathan's Breath are both getting PvE changes, which is nice. Xenophage is getting changed again. Now it's getting an increased rate of fire. Damage is coming back down. No one liked the change, so they're changing it back. Le Monarch is too oppressive. Reduce the poison tick versus players by 25% and change the poison damage type from burn to poison, and increase the poison tick damage versus AI by 50%. So it's better in PvE, worse in PvP. I'm all for it. Le Monarch is extremely annoying to play against. Lorentz Driver. Now this is an interesting change. Reducing the body shot damage. I like this because I feel like if you can land your headshots, you'll be good. But Lorentz has some very strong aim assist. Now where this comes into play is in the air. People that jump and like to snipe you with Lorentz, you're not gonna be able to do that anymore. So we'll see how this shakes up. I think it'll still be S tier. Probably still meta. I might do a video ranking the different exotics after these changes are made, but body damage is now reduced by 20%, but headshots still do 100% damage, so that's gonna be interesting. I also think it's funny they don't mention Arbalest here. So I'm not sure where Arbalest plays in here. Okay, Skyburner's Oath is getting a massive buff. Skyburners didn't feel like it had a niche except for airborne memes. Increase the ADS projectile speed to hit scan. So both ADS and hipfire are now 150 RPM. Hipfire projectiles no longer tracks, but arcs similar to a grenade launcher and has a larger detonation than ADS. So they nerfed it and buffed it at the same time. The hipfire detonation also applies burn to targets, and the bonus range from the masterwork has been rolled into the base of the weapon. There's a new masterwork that now grants reload speed instead, and it has the highest airborne effectiveness in the game at 35. That could play out very well. Last word is a lot better on controller than mouse and keyboard, so they're reducing the mouse and keyboard recoil penalty. See if that makes a difference. I don't think people are going to use it still, but it could be cool. Arbalest is getting reduced damage against champions. I feel like Arbalest is good in PvP as well. Is it just Lorentz is the go-to for PvP? Interesting. They're finally doing something about the Graviton Lance Catalyst, and it's getting Vorpal Weapon, which could be extremely good. I think the gun still needs a buff, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays. And then Grand Overture, reduced time between bursts when in missile mode, so we'll see how that plays out. I don't think that'll affect PvP too much. All right, Cold Heart. The arc damage type update and Cold Heart's exotic trait more or less being is a trace rifle no longer fits in the world of legendary trace rifles. Sustained damage creates an ionic trace, and collecting an ionic trace grants energy to all of your abilities. Increase grace time before the damage ramp clears from 0.113 to 1 second. I feel like if you're landing your shots, this could be a pretty good option for a trace rifle now. Sustained damage with Prometheus Lens now provides a more useful burst turn to targets. Good to see a little buff there. And then power level no longer cycles randomly. The damage output is the same as the old middle tier. Picking up an orb now grants 10 seconds of maximum power and caps at 20 seconds. Now suppresses targets while granted this mode by picking up an orb. Interesting. Corrected rotation on the projectile model for Osteostriga. That's good. Somehow shift rotated by 90 degrees and it looks a bit weird. I did think that the bullets looked a little weird. I thought it was part of the charm of the gun though. And then Lord of Wolves. Reduced damage fall off start and end by 25%. I think that's needed. Otherwise, it's going to absolutely shine. All right, Snapshot is no longer the go-to perk. Increased ADS speed from 0.5 to 0.75. Weapons are going to feel a lot better. I like this. It looks like increased ADS animation speed from 0.5 to 0.75 for special ammo weapons. I wonder if that's all special ammo weapons. You will not need Snapshot quite as much as you did before this. Opening shot has felt mandatory on shotguns, so they removed the damage fall off for it. Increased range stat bonus from plus 20 to plus 25. Other stats from this perk are unchanged. So plus 20 aim assist, 5% reduced error accuracy cone angle, 10% reduced accuracy cone growth. Full choke has been the go-to, so they made it worse. Smoothbore has been the one everyone's avoided, so they made it better. Desperado is good, so they reduced the duration from 7 to 6, and then they increased the fire recovery. Doesn't fire quite as fast with the perk active. Air Assault is coming back. It's making a return, and will now get up to plus 60 airborne effectiveness when wounded. I like that. That could be kind of cool. Same trigger conditions as Eye of the Storm. And then Mulligan. Increased chance to return from 20 to 35%. I do like that because there's so many good perks. I never picked Mulligan. It was completely unnecessary. Compulsive Reloader shipped a little weak, so it increased the reload stat from plus 40 to plus 50. I personally was a big fan of Compulsive Reloader, and I think I will continue to be a big fan. I don't know how to say this. Adagio, I think, was allowed for one-shot body shot kills with slug shotguns, so they reduced the damage from 30 to 20%. Icarus Grip will now grant the Airborne Effectiveness stat instead of its accuracy penalty scalar. Removed the scalar, plus 15 airborne effectiveness. Adept is plus 15 and plus 5 handling. All right, so that is it. That is a lot of changes. A few more things. Axion bolts are getting nerfed, which is interesting. I like the 91 to 152 on Axion bolt. I feel like that's a solid amount of time. Titan barricades cooldown when the Bastion Void aspect is equipped is now 82 seconds instead of 53. Offensive Bulwark now provides 60% less grenade energy regeneration in PvP. Whisper of Change provides 15% bonus damage resistance when near a stasis crystal, down from 25. Renewal Grasp increased the base cooldown of the Duskfield grenade from 60 seconds to almost 3 times that at 152. The outgoing damage penalty applied to player victims in the Renewal Grasp Duskfield grenade is reduced from 50% down to 20. Wow! All right, so Renewal Grasps and a lot of the other very annoying things in the Crucible have been toned down quite a bit. We will see how all of this plays out. I am curious to hear from you guys. What did you think of the patch notes? What are some things that you're looking forward to, or some things that are making you nervous about what we're going into for this next meta? Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. I tried to break it all down as simple as I could, tell you what I'm excited for, what I'm looking forward to. I think one thing I'm going to try to do going forward from here is once I'm done with this March Madness tournament, start to set up some really strong, really unique builds, which is what Destiny 2 is wanting you to do, is build craft. And so you can expect here on the channel a lot of videos based around how to build for specific play types. I think it's gonna be a super fun series. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, check out the second channel for some Apex Legends gameplay, or the vlog channel if you want to see Haley, the dogs, and G. Thank you guys for all the love. I know this was a long one. I appreciate you sticking around. If you made it this far, let me know. I'll heart your comment down below, and I will catch you guys in tomorrow's episode. Thanks for all the love, and thanks for watching. Peace.